Welcome to Monday AI Summary. Today I'll show you how to extract data from Monday.com, enhance it with AI, and create an HTML page using a GET endpoint. First part will be creation of variables and endpoint. Explore the basics of setting up variables and endpoints, essential for application functionality. Let's get started. First, we'll create a company named Monday AI. We will generate a slug for it and scroll down to enable the data snapshot at every time, so we don't have to turn it on separately for each step. After saving the company and entering it, we'll click on Variables and add a new one. The code will be Monday API key, and the name will be Monday API key. We'll switch the value to sensitive and insert the API key from Monday.com. Click on Save and repeat this process with different values for the OpenAI API key and for the OpenAI organization. Next, click on Endpoint and add a new one. Name it My Board Summary and refresh the slug. We will use a GET endpoint. For now, just save it. This setup lays the foundation for future configuration. Click on Data Schemas, move to the Custom section, and add a new schema named My Input Schema. Add a column Board ID and save it. Now, move back to the Endpoint section, click on Created Endpoint, then move to Get tab, and add the created schema to the input on the endpoint. Change saving of input data to every time, and also uncheck showing system data in response. Second part is about data extraction from Monday. Learn how to efficiently extract data from Monday.com. It's a key step in data management. Save and close the endpoint, then move to the Task section. Add a new task named My Board Summary. Set the trigger to Endpoint and bind it with the configured Get endpoint. Add a new step named Read Monday Items and choose Monday Items Reader Connector. Click Add Step. Now open Task Step Editor. And on the input, select our created schema. Map input data from the endpoint to the input on step. In the API token field, type $ and click on Monday API key. In the Board ID column, type Input Board. Don't forget to save both configurations. Then click on Debug to inspect the data coming into the input. Instead of using an example, input the board ID located in the Monday link. Click Run to proceed. Now, we can see the imported data from Monday.com, but the data structure does not meet our requirements, so we need to adjust them. So third step will be about editing and filtering data into an internal structure. Close the debugger and add a new step. Name it Adjust Columns, and choose the Monday Item Parser connector. Click Add Step, then on Task Step Editor, and map input data to the schema by clicking just one button. All columns from the output of the previous step will be matched with the input schema on this one. Close the Task Step Editor and click on Publish. Move to the Endpoint section, click on the created endpoint, and copy the endpoint URL. Open a new window and paste the URL. Then write ? followed by board ID equals. And copy and paste the board ID from the selected Monday link. Press Enter. The result will be null because we haven't configured the output on the endpoint. Now, go back to your task and click on History, then click on Refresh. Click on the yellow button called Data Viewer, and now you can see that the columns are adjusted for our internal data structure. Close the Data Viewer and return to the Design section. Add a new step called Filter Columns and use the JS Mapper connector. Click Add Step, then on Task Step Editor. On the input, select Monday Item Parser Output. Click Load Schema and map the data with one click. On the output, select JSON. Click on Load Schema and then copy the JSON from the link provided in the video description and place it inside the JS Mapper. Save the configuration and close it. Another part will be about creation of endpoint via Node.js and modification of data through OpenAI. Explore the method of implementing an endpoint with Node.js and understand how it can be combined with OpenAI's sophisticated features. Add another step called AI Summary and use the Node.js connector. Click Add Step, then on the Task Step Editor, and on the input add JSON. Click Load Schema and map the data, and on the output, it will also be JSON. Click Load Schema, and in the Node.js statement, place the code provided in the link below the video. You don't need to change anything because this code uses variables and is ready to go. The variables are 1 or 2 word shortcuts, which contain tokens, passwords, etc. Save and close this step. Final part of this video will be about the creation of an HTML page and launching through the endpoint. So let's add our last step. Start with the HTML connector and name it Prepare HTML. Click on Add Step and then open Task Step Editor. On the input, use JSON again. Click Load Schema, map the input data, and place HTML code. Guess what? The link to this code will also be provided under the video. Save the HTML statement, close the step, and click on the endpoint in the task tree. On the output schema, select HTML endpoint output, and as the output step, select Prepare HTML. Map the data to the schema, save, and publish. Now copy the endpoint URL, open a new tab, then paste the URL followed by a question mark, board ID equals, and your board ID. Click Enter, and your HTML site is ready. Congratulations! You have successfully created a configuration with AI by using Integray. Keep experimenting to enhance your skills. Don't forget to follow us on social media and like, comment, and share if you found this tutorial useful. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to create a new topic on our community forum. Link will be below this video. Thank you for watching, and see you soon in next tutorial.